Some questions. First, how would you like to be joined for your morning coffee by serial killer Charles Manson? Second, if the old Sicilian defence doesn't work for you, might you chess players consider poisoning your opponents? And finally, which would you prefer? The husband who opens a back garden to all and sundry but cannily collects 40 quid at the gate, or the one who turns it into a vast plastic Jurassic Park? That man and his very tolerant wife fills page 19 of The Sun. However, sadly, even in the silly season, we have to get serious. Anti-immigrant rioting continues, but yesterday, finally, and quite suddenly, the mood changed, at least up north. Several papers, including the Weekend Irish News, the Mail and the Mirror, focus on a counter-movement in Belfast, taking peacefully to the streets around City Hall. The Mail runs with anti-hate marchers face down the rioters in Belfast, while the Belfast-based Irish News offers United Front Against Racism. Inside, the North's first black mayor, Lillian Senoy Barr, blames the North's politicians. Instead of investing in communities, they have chosen to deflect blame onto immigrants, sowing division and hate, she says. Elsewhere, the papers are full of the October budget giveaway. You know, that old trick where voters, presumed to be soft in the head, are bought off with their own money. The Irish Times headline forecasts significant income tax cuts and lump sum payments. The latter, it predicts, in the form of a big Christmas bonus. The Independent looks at plans to offer a special €750 income tax credit to the under-25s, in a bid, the paper says, to stop them emigrating as soon as they graduate. In Irish Times features, the brilliant David McWilliams tracks the decline of Parliament Street since its glory days of the early 1990s, when he and many others lived there. Town nowadays, he complains, too many offices, too few flats. The ratio of residential to office needs to be flipped in favour of homes by legislation, he writes, adding in an attack on Airbnb, and yes, blunt instruments that favour residents over tourists are essential. In the tabloids, there's more great writing, with the fearless Natasha Winnerzik investigating the holiday trade in pink cocaine. That's in the Star. The same story, also by Natasha, appears in remarkably similar form in the Irish Daily Mirror, complete with the same photographs and graphics. Apparently, the new drug, sometimes sold under the name Tusi, is now all over Ibiza, with its deadly mixture of MDMA, ketamine and cocaine. Every single paper features front-page photos of Tallaght track star Rashida Adeleke, just out of the medals in the 400. But the Mirror goes big on the silver lining. Relay chance for Adeleke is the strapline with the punning banner, "Go for it, girls," with the forespelt FOUR. On page 49 of the Star, we meet that quartet, Kelly McGrory, Phil Healy, Sophie Becker and Charlene Maudsley. Fab Four will have Adeleke, we are told, but that's a bit of a puzzle, as nowhere do we learn which one of them will make way for the girl from Tallaght. And finally, food. Pay your €40 at a vegetable farm in County Donegal, and you can take away as many carrots, spuds and onions as you can carry from John Graham's garden in Ballyholey. Half these children, John tells us, have never seen a vegetable growing in the ground, and cue the paper's puns about getting back to your roots. But if you want to add a cup of coffee, watch out. Even as that morning hit jump-starts your heart, the blood it pumps will be chilled by the sight of 60s serial killer Charles Manson. Don't believe me? Proof on page 25 of the Star and in our video edition later this afternoon. And finally, and even more dangerous, apparently, is the quiet chess player Amina Abakarova. This Russian champion felt she needed something more deadly than the four nights opening, so late last week, in a tournament in southern Russia, she smeared her rival's chess pieces with a poison containing deadly mercury. This unorthodox opening move and the poor opponent's collapse were, luckily, captured on CCTV, and the girl now faces jail. Last week we brought you the Irish Times feature on chess players in Dublin's Gonzaga College. Just a quick update. Since last Saturday, Gonzaga has recorded several victories, the odd stalemate, and I'm happy to report few, if any, fatalities.